Hey guys, welcome back to Gardens and Grace. For those of you that don't know me yet, my name is Tasha. And today I want to talk about seasoning a cast iron skillet. So a lot of people want to get into cast iron, but they're nervous because of seasoning it. And seasoning a cast iron skillet really is nothing to be intimidated by. And so I just kind of want to walk through that process today. I have my cast iron skillet here that I've been cooking in for years, and it needs to be re-seasoned. So I'm going to walk you guys through that process. Now, when we're talking about cast iron, a lot of people will say not to use soap because it will take the seasoning off. Now that's true, but for me, like I wash my cast iron skillet in my sink. The key is I use very little soap. If I need to use soap, I will use it. I use very little. I dry it out really quickly, and then I add oil to the skillet just to make sure it stays seasoned. From time to time, the seasoning still begins to wear down, and so we have to actually do the full process of re-seasoning it. So that's what I'm gonna go through today. So a quick seasoning would be adding oil to your cast iron skillet after you clean it, and then the full seasoning is what we're gonna actually do today. So when choosing an oil to season your cast iron skillet, you want something with a really high smoke point. So I have avocado oil here. This has a really high smoke point. If you were to use something like olive oil, that would work, but the smoke point is not nearly as high. So avocado oil is for me, is what I choose to use. Now you could use, a lot of people will use canola oils, or a grapeseed oil, or even lard. You can even use lard. Lard also doesn't have a very high smoke point, but a canola oil or grapeseed oil would work fine. I don't like to cook with those, so I actually prefer the avocado oil. It has a high smoke point, it's healthy for my family, and so I like to use this. So we're getting ready to fully season our cast iron skillet. The very first thing we want to do is add quite a bit of oil to our pan. We want a good amount of oil. And we're just gonna kind of buff that oil into the skillet. And like I said, it's really important to make sure your cast iron stays dry. So if your cast iron sits in water, it will rust. So once you wash your pans, you wanna dry them out right away. Normally what I do is I will wash my skillet. I will then add, I will then take a paper towel and dry it out, and then I will just add some avocado oil to it and buff it in with a paper towel. So we want to keep a nice glossy sheen here. So I'm going to keep kind of buffing this in, working it into the metal. Cast iron is really porous, so it will hold this oil fairly well. So I'm gonna do the handle as well. We wanna get oil over the whole pan. We want more inside the pan and less on the outside, but we still want at least a little bit. So I'm gonna flip this over. I've had this cast iron for quite some time. It's actually my mom's, and I kind of stole it from her, but it's pretty old and worn, and that's okay. Cast iron will last a really long time. With a little tender love and care, you can bring your cast irons back to life, even if they've rusted, even if you haven't taken care of them, even if they've been in storage. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with that. I'm gonna add just a little bit more oil on the inside. Really, really work it in. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the cast iron and I'm gonna put it in a really hot oven. So we're gonna set our oven at about 425 degrees, and we're gonna bake the cast iron in there for about an hour to an hour and a half. What I'll do after that is turn the oven off and allow it to just sit in the oven until it cools off. So let's do that. You'll know if your cast iron needs to be re-seasoned if it begins to stick. So if food begins to stick to the bottom of your cast iron, you'll know it's time to do the full re-seasoning. Like I said, every time we wash it, we're gonna keep it seasoned by adding avocado oil or some type of oil that has a high smoke point and buffing it in, but we're not gonna heat it every single time. We're only gonna need to do the full process that we're doing right now, where we heat the cast iron. When it becomes less non-stick. So once food starts to stick to it, we'll know it's time to do a full reseasoning of our cast iron.
And here's the cast iron after I pulled it out of the oven. And like I said, I baked it in the oven at 425 degrees for about an hour. I let it then cool down. Once the oven was fairly cool, I pulled it out, and once it was cool enough I could handle it, I pulled it out, and this is what it looks like afterwards. It's very glossy. There's a nice sheen to it. And at this point, it is mostly nonstick. It's well seasoned, and we're able to cook in our cast iron.
And it's that simple, guys, to take care of your cast iron skillet. Thank you guys so much for watching. May your garden and your kitchen be filled with grace, and may you be abundantly blessed. We'll see you next time. If you made it this far in the video, first, thank you for watching. And second, please consider liking and subscribing. It will help ensure that you see all of our content as it comes out. It will also tell YouTube that you found value in this video, thereby pushing it out to more people. And if you found value in it, maybe somebody else will as well. Also, if you're new around here, please consider leaving a comment down below. We're trying to create community. I try to respond to as many comments as I possibly can. And I'd like to know that you're here and that you're with us and you're part of our community. And I would like to just be able to say hello to you. So please leave a comment down below. Thank you guys so much for watching.